Airborne Kingdom, Sky City Builder, super pleasant surprise. Released on December 27th, 2020, Airborne Kingdom is a refreshingly unique take on the city builder genre. With a beautiful art style and compelling story, let's dive on into what I discovered in my first few hours of gameplay. Airborne Kingdom is the first city builder I've played, aside from Frostpunk, that has had an overarching storyline. It's introduced via a series of art and narration, beautifully written and animated, and lays the groundwork of what you're designing your kingdom for. With this narrative purpose behind you, it's a clear directive as to the how and why you're creating this flying city that leads you directly into the gameplay. The Airborne Kingdom is the result of a prophecy regarding a flying city that restored peace and prosperity to the ground below in times past. As the sole architect of the reborn kingdom, it is your responsibility to reunite the grounded kingdoms of this isolated world and share the technologies of all to ensure harmony can once again reign over the land. With this in mind, your kingdom starts simple. House your citizens, learn to harvest the resources below, and set out on your journey to rediscover the other centers of civilization. Meet with their leaders and listen to what they need from your kingdom, be it resources and workers, or scouting and repairs. Each kingdom has a request, you decide if you grant it, and be rewarded with their unity in return. The art style of this game was a surprising but beautiful choice. The ground layer is tiled and brings to mind almost a Settlers of Catan vibe, while the Middle Eastern inspired aesthetic blends gorgeously with the soundtrack, mechanical style, and story writing. The buildings in your kingdom mirror this style, and through the research tree later on, allow you to create wonderfully detailed city blocks, tea gardens, farms, and more. A creative builder can design the ultimate city in the sky, and look good doing so. As you pass over the landscape below, you'll notice gather resources of food, coal, and water, as well as building materials needed for more advanced buildings. One of the choices I really liked was the giant resource number on the ground, an easy way to check if a resource was worth diverting the path of your kingdom for. Resources were well spread out, and I never felt like I was truly stuck. Panicking when I forgot about my coal supply, yes, but never intentionally screwed over by the game design. Much like Frostpunk, coal is your most important resource as it's required to keep your kingdom in the air. Run out and watch it go crashing to the ground. In addition, each region, of which there are 3, have their own specialities and shortages. Make sure you're well prepared before heading into each one. Now, I talk a lot about balance in these city builder games, but I've never meant it literally until now. As you expand your kingdom and your buildings, you must be wary of the tilt mechanic. Building more affects your lift and your propulsion, but both have numerous options to be increased and improved rather than a one-size-fits-all solution. On that note, one of the things I appreciated most was the camera locking onto your moving kingdom as you were building. This is something that honestly easily could have been overlooked, but its implementation makes for much smoother gameplay. Resource gathering is important and easy. Spot a resource, build hangars for your citizens, and send your planes towards it. Sometimes you don't even have to stop traveling to just nip a bit of water from an oasis or food from a thicket. In fact, I did this so often that I was building more of an airborne Roomba than a kingdom, just kind of hoovering up the landscape as we flew on past. Recruiting citizens is easy from either other kingdoms or isolated settlements. Managing their wants and needs is easy as well, though I did have one grumpy person that wouldn't tell me which fan was causing him grief, as some buildings caused discontent to live next to, and they always ended up parachuting from the kingdom, which rebalanced my citizens' happiness once again. As you ally with more kingdoms through quests and missions, your citizens' demands grow. It's a really simple way of advancing a learning player through different levels of difficulty. Comfort, health, and desire all begin to clamour for your attention in late game, and though I was annoyed at first that they all wanted their paths lit, until it hit me that this flying kingdom does not have handrails, and streetlights were a very reasonable want as it is a long way down. The research tree in itself deserves a mention. As you travel from kingdom to kingdom, you unlock blueprints for research to improve life aboard your city. It's pretty standard, right? What I wasn't expecting was for some of those blueprints to combine and give you integrated tech. It's so simple, so brilliant, and I was so excited for it. Suddenly I was revisiting kingdoms to buy up as many blueprints as I could to unlock the tree paths to create the ultimate flying city for my citizens. The story of Airborne Kingdom and its prophecy is really well done. Combined with the beautiful aesthetic, I found myself excited to discover each region and grounded kingdom for the story moments. The world building in this game is great, well written, well thought out and well presented. There are 12 kingdoms to align with, 3 different regions, and each one is different from the next. I never thought I'd enjoy story-based city builders, preferring to make my own story instead, but this only added to the experience, not detracted from it. From my rough estimations, there's about 10 hours of core gameplay here, but I could be way off. I tended to play on the slower setting because it's just so pretty to look at. I've had a few comments about my game reviews being more like love letters to the games I played, but truthfully, I've adored every game I've reviewed so far. Airborne Kingdom is my first fresh game that I've reviewed, in which the footage you see here is the only game time I've had with it. Timberborn I racked up about 6 hours, Dawn of Man is in triple digits, as is Banished. Airborne Kingdom was a totally new experience for me, and I adore it. The game writing, the story, the mechanics, it's a brilliant title, and I say that in all honesty. 2 things I would suggest would be a button to recall all gatherers from a resource easily, or when that resource storage was full, and maybe a weather system that could potentially add dire consequences for a tilted city. But this was time and money well spent. This game is definitely being added to my stream rotation, and I am keen for any updates coming our way from the developers. This was a really fun video to make because it's the first time that I've experienced a game for the first time with the reviewer's mindset, and I really enjoyed putting this together and just exploring the game mechanics from this point of view. If you've played this game, if you've got any questions about this game, chuck them down in the comments below and I'll hop right to them. Otherwise, come and have a chat to me while I'm live over on Twitch at twitch.tv/ReneeSky. I stream Monday, Wednesdays and Saturdays, usually playing a city builder of some variety, so pop on over and say hello there. In the meantime, like always, stay safe, stay happy, and as always, happy creating.